Well, then let's get started. We've got a few really exciting things to cover, and we want to give everybody plenty of time to get familiar with the information and ask any questions that you have. Um, go around, do some introductions. My name is Dave. I am in the seller success team. We are dedicated to your success as partners in our network. Welcome, Matthew. I see you just joining us now. We're dedicated to your success here. So we have a lot of support and we have a lot of tools designed to help grow your business. And we're going to get into all that really cool stuff. But by way of introduction, my name is Dave. I'm with the Seller Success team. I've got Carrick running Wingman. He's part of our community and engagement team and also does plenty of onboarding. So some of you might be familiar with him from your onboarding calls. Welcome, Bridget. Carrick's going to be helping monitor the chat, and so he'll be able to address any questions you have or bring them to the conversation. And with us today, we have Tony Ferrero and Dan Richards. Tony is the leader of our supplies sales division, and we have some really exciting stuff going on in our supplies sales division. Right. And Dan Richards leads our financial services. These are some tools that are really creative that really separate Zometry from the rest of the field, the rest of the industry, and are designed to help you grow your business. So the purpose of today's webinar is to introduce you to these programs and explain them a little bit and give you a forum to ask any questions. So with that, I do like to set the table a little bit and just take a step back, remind everybody that we are Zometry. We are a on-demand custom manufacturing network, and we have a partnership with you, our partners. What we bring to the table is we bring jobs to the table, and what you do is you bring work to the table. We meet in the middle and we have a strong partnership. As such, our business model is to grow your capacity so that we can provide more work to you, and that's how we grow our business. We grow our business by growing your business. It's a really cooperative arrangement, and that's why we have a partnership. That's why we call it a partnership. So with that, we're going to get into some specific tools that we're going to talk about. So first of all, welcome to the event. While we get started here, just make sure that your mic is muted. You can see everybody. We've gotten some good feedback in the chat already, so I think everybody's good to go. We've got a lot of introductions, so again, welcome everybody. Let's just talk about the agenda. We're going to specifically talk about Xometry Supplies and the Supplies Flex program, Xometry's financial solutions, how you can connect with financial solutions at every stage of your work, and a couple of exclusive offers that we have to folks that spent some time here with us today, so thank you. We've got plenty of time set aside for Q&A, and we've got some community resources to share with you as well. So with that, let's launch into Xometry Supplies, and I will give the floor to you, Tony, to take us into that.
Great. Well, as you heard, my name is Tony Ferrero, and I have the privilege of overseeing the team that makes sure that you have the supplies you need to manufacture all the parts and pieces that you all do. Of the materials that we provide, this metal, plastic, 3D printing materials, even down to bits and blades and grinding wheels and all of that, all the way to power tools you might need for your shop, lubricants and such. So we can get you quotes and pricing on any of that. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So when it comes to the materials, metals in particular, we offer custom cuts. We can put quoting together for materials with any type of call outs, even down to the certs and traceability documents that you might need for a specific job. But one of the things that I'm pretty excited about, my team likes helping with, is this item down here at the bottom that is stocking your shop full of metal that you need for jobs. And it's a program we call Supplies Flex. And this really came about because we met with partners to find out what kind of challenges they had. And right now, with the supply chain the way it is, lead times are long. Pricing is kind of, going up at record pace at times. And this was becoming an issue, long lead times and erratic pricing. So we realized that one of the alternatives to that is to order materials ahead of time, but that ties up cash. And so we came up with this program called Supplies Flex. And what this does is it allows you to order material for your shop, and we put that on your floor with no upfront cost. And we have a 90-day payment plan, a 90-day program that allows you to pay 3 installments over that 90 days, which allows you really to use that cash for other things on the front side. And that way it eliminates the lead time issue. And when those items are shipped to you, it locks that price in at the day that you got it. So imagine how the prices have changed, and what the prices are today are much less than what they might be, 60 days from now. So it's a great program, and we're pretty proud of it.
Thank you, Tony.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're hearing pretty universally that our partner network is feeling the same pain that the entire economy is dealing with this pandemic supply chain, right? Materials are taking a long time to arrive, and price volatility has been out of control. And so I think this is a super creative program, and you're not going to find this anywhere else. This is what Zometry does for you. Dan, let's turn it over to you to talk about some financial solutions.
Certainly, Dave. I thought maybe since Tony's expertise is here and we shared a bunch of information on supplies, maybe we could pause 30 seconds to see if there were any questions about the Xometry Supplies business, right? So I see Mike Hirsch already has one coming in.
Yeah, great idea. So we've got, is the supply section open to get tooling also, or just the stock materials? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a great question. On Supplies Flex, that is really only for metals, plastic, and 3D printing materials. It's not offered for tooling and MRO products.
However, we do offer a full set of tools and
That's
stuff
right.
on our supplies site. So the way the question is worded, our supplies section has all that stuff. Our Supplies Flex is really focusing on the raw materials.
Absolutely, yes.
Great question, Mike. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, I'm not seeing any other supplies specific questions. As we go along, if something occurs to you, just go ahead and pop it in the chat. We've got plenty of time to address those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
So we can. Yeah, so I'm Dan Richards. I'm a VP of Supplier Marketing and Financial Services here at Zometry, and I like to joke that I have the most fun job in Zometry because I help get people get paid and get people with their cash flow, help manage that quicker. So we're going to talk today about the various ways, the various sort of tools and products Zometry has set up specifically designed to work with our job board and accelerate machine shop cash flow. So Tony actually kind of introduced one of these already with our Supplies Flex program. So with your ability to get your raw materials on super flexible payment terms to front for the job. Dave, if you could click ahead. We're going to talk about some of the other products we have as well. So you might be familiar with the Xometry Advance Card. It's something you were given the opportunity to sign up for when you join the partner network. We'll talk about these each in specifics. We'll also talk about Instant Pay and Fast Pay, which are our accelerated payment options. Xometry will always pay you net 30. That's something that's built in, and one of the competitive advantages we believe we offer machine shops like yourself, but we have ways of getting you paid faster as well. We have sort of a newish sort of smart technology called Deduct from Job, so you can make sure that your expenses through something like the advance card or supplies purchasing is actually matching up to the income, so you don't have to float the expenses ahead of when you get paid out for the job. And then we talked about Supplies Flex. So let's jump into the individual products, please. The advance card is something I know all of us at Xometry are really proud of. It is really kind of nothing like it in the manufacturing business, and especially geared toward machine shops. So this is a Visa-backed card, and it is a physical piece of plastic like the one you see in the picture. And it allows you to get 50% of the value of the job you've taken immediately. So if you take a job off the Xometry job board for $10,000, immediately $5,000 is going to be placed on this card. I like to refer to it as kind of a reloadable Starbucks gift card that we're all probably familiar with, but your mechanism for reloading it is taking work from Xometry. And because it works more like a gift card and is not a credit card, not a debit card, we have no fees, no bills in the mail, no credit checks or impacts on the credit rating. It's as if you were given, a gift card for Christmas that is reloaded throughout the year. As I mentioned, it's backed by Visa, so it is accepted wherever Visa is accepted. And you can use it to spend the amount of your advance on any manufacturing or business related expenses. It's a very wide range of categories that are eligible for spend. After you complete the job, the amount of the advance that you spent will be deducted from the payout of that job. We can go ahead and advance, Dave. We also offer instant pay and its cousin, fast pay. So as I mentioned, Xometry will always pay you net 30. We also have these products that can get you paid. We call it net 3 or faster, as it's typically an overnight payment. Instant pay is really a way to get access to the full payout immediately when you take the job. It's something that your eligibility for it gets turned on after having completed 3 jobs, just so we start to establish a little bit of a track record with you. And simply you would, and I think we'll show a screenshot in a moment, but you'll have taken the job and you'll see in your shop finances dashboard that you are eligible to trigger that payout right away. And for that, we charge a one-time 6% fee. If you wish to not take advantage of that, but get paid quicker once the job is complete, we offer a fast pay service, and the fee there is variable depending on how far away your regular payout is supposed to be. So you see sort of in this graphic, this 14-day litmus test. And Mike, we'll get to your question, I think, in a moment. So you can see the various fees related to that. Dave? We'll give it a click. And Dave, I think you were going to walk us through sort of the screenshots of what this looks like in actuality on the shop finances.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So just to reiterate, I mean, we're guaranteeing payment in 30 days, but we give you flexibility. We're trying to give you the control over your cash flow. And that's hard to come by a lot of times when you have cash wrapped up in POs. So what we're doing is what Dan has explained and the fee structure that he went through, but this is where you connect with it. This is the shop finances tab of your partner account. And in this tab, you're going to find all of your transactions and all of your payout amounts. And it's very transparent. We're not trying to trick anybody. We're trying to give you all the data that you need to make your decisions to take control. When you identify your job that you want to fast pay, you click into it, and then we show you everything you need to see right in its individual tile before you confirm your payout. So again, we're trying to be transparent. We're trying to be to enable you to take jobs from the job board. We heard pretty universally in the early part of the pandemic that a lot of our partners were struggling with cash flow. They were getting work from their customers, but they weren't getting paid on time. So we have a guaranteed payment system, but we also are opening access to cash to keep the work coming through and to generate a revenue stream. So we had folks looking at an idle machine and looking at our job board saying, I would love to take that job, but I don't have money for materials. So the advance card comes along and we advance you the money for materials. Now you can get working and you can get that revenue stream. Then on the back end, you've got fast pay. So you can control access to your cash right now so that you can take other jobs from other customers. Our whole business model is around supporting your growth to increase your capacity. So we'd like you to take more jobs from the job board, but we need you to be healthy and in business to do that. So however you need control and access over your cash to be there to receive these jobs, we're enabling that with Advance Card and with FastPay. There's a couple questions, Dan. Did you want to get to those now, or do you want to come back?
Yeah, let's take a break for questions. And actually, if you don't mind going back to the prior slide. So the first one we have from Mike, can you create a way to leave behind money from completed jobs in the shop finances account to save for larger purchases, or to apply it to my supplies account, as long as it's empty before the financial year? So and that's an interesting question, Mike, because we've always kind of worked under the assumption that people would want access to their cash when it kind of has the ability to turn into cash. What Mike's describing is more like what you might see as like a wallet, right? Like on PayPal or Venmo, where money is stored in your wallet. I know we've talked about this before. I can't say we have anything specifically in the hopper for it now, but I am wondering, Tony, since we have you here, in supplies, would we be able to maybe treat that as like a blanket PO? If there is money in the shop finances account to essentially create a supplies credit? I'm sorry to put you on the spot. It's just an idea.
I don't know why not. Yeah, I don't know why not. It would just be another way of paying for materials. So I think that's.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't say specifically before, when we advance you that 50% upfront on every job, that money does sit on your card, but it also sits sort of in a Xometry account that we can use directly at Xometry Supplies. So you can call your supplies rep and say, yeah, I just took the job. Can you just charge the PO, charge the supplies or the materials order against that? We call that, deduct from supplies. So you don't actually need the physical card to do that there. I see some other great questions coming in. And
Dan, on that though, one of the questions he had to do with the length of time that could sit in there. Is that a concern?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have an answer to that, as I hadn't really thought about the length of time. Go ahead, Dave.
But definitely we should clarify and be specific that we are opening this advance up to enable production. So in Dan's example, you take a $10,000 job, you get a $5,000 advance. If you don't use that advance, when you ship the job, that advance moves back to your payout, or any unused portion of that advance moves back to your payout and is paid out on the schedule, either guaranteed 30 days or the fee breakdown for the fast pay option. So that is a good question, Mike, because that's an important difference between the advance card and a credit card. Again, this is a gift card and the balance goes back and forth, but the root of this card was to enable partners to be able to purchase materials, to purchase supplies, to be able to take work from the job board. At the end of the job, you don't need access to supplies to do that job. So we're just giving you access to that up front. And I think this is a good time to bring in deduct from job, which we had talked about before, which is a feature of the shop finances. When you are making a spend on your advance card, you're going to want to tie that spend to the job that it was advanced from. That way it will protect that spend from being paid off by a future advance. So for instance, if you take that $10,000 job, you spend that $5,000 advance, now you've got a $5,000 hole in your card. You take a $1,000 job, we advance you $500, it wants to pay off that $5,000 balance on your card. In order to stop that from happening and give you access to that $500 advance from that new job you took, you simply need to associate the charge from your first advance to the first job payout, and then it won't get paid back until that job pays out.
And it's a little confusing, right? Even as someone who knows the product well, to hear it described accurately, I understand can create some confusion. If you think about sort of another credit card you might have that you're able to tag, a charge at McDonald's as a restaurant charge and then look at all of your restaurant charges for the month. Here you're able to tag the, $2,000 at Xometry Supplies to job XYZ and the $1,000 at Zometry Supplies to job ABC, so that you're only getting hit with the increment of the expense when it's time to pay out that job. Hopefully that makes sense. And we can certainly take questions or talk about that further.
And the idea there is to be able to protect each future advance, right? We want to be able to enable you to take the next job and the next job. And so we want to give you access to those advances as well.
So we had 2 questions on the percentages as far as what's deducted. Yep. Do we want to address those maybe at the end, or do you want to go ahead and?
I'm happy. I love the dialogue. I'm happy to have the conversation. I think we'll have plenty of time to finish off, and we are going to talk about some ways to get, at least for today's attendees, a special savings on one of our products. So Dan and also Mike kind of asked about the rates on our fast pay and instant pay products. We tested a bunch of different rates, and landed on these current numbers as a place where we felt partners were kind of comfortable with the fee, as well as obviously Xometry is taking on risk when we pay out a job at the start. We have a lot of trust and faith in our partners, but there can be the odd case where somebody could take our money and not produce the job. And so there is kind of risk we're taking on with that. The one thing we are doing that's new, and hopefully you'll start to see in the coming weeks and months, is we now have the ability to be running more promotions around this. So we'll be tying promotional rates on fast pay and instant pay, whether it be due to your participation in the products, right? So for example, if you've used it X number of times and you can unlock a new rate, this is something that our sort of development team is currently in the process of finishing off, which will then allow us a lot more flexibility and how we reward people who use the products to encourage them to continue taking advantage of them. So I completely see the feedback on that, and I don't think we're going to be changing them at the wholesale level, but I think we'll be doing a lot more promotional activity to be able for you to take advantage of. And then there's a question from Bridget, which I think is for Tony.
Yeah.
Can we purchase supplies for all of our jobs or only Xometry jobs? Tony, I feel like your ears must be lighting up on that one.
That's right. It's a great question, and you can use it on any job that you have, even Supplies Flex, where you're getting the net 90. This is a wonderful program. It's we love the fact that we have partners that manufacture our products off the job board, but that program is for use in any job that you might have.
It's also important to say that the advance card is just as universal as Supplies Flex and our Supplies site. You can use the advance card to purchase supplies for a different job if you'd like. The point that we're making is that we're giving you control over your cash flow. And if you need tires for the shop truck, if you need to buy pizza for the crew to keep them working, that advance card is gonna work. And if that helps you get through that day and be able to take another job from the job board, we're all for it. So we're trying to give you the control.
We have a comment from Gene as well. I've used Supplies Flex for outside work. Advantage to me is that they find the material, they being Tony and his team. I just send them a list, they do the chasing, right, Tony?
Yeah,
that's
right.
What your team does.
That's right.
That is what we're
Several
here for.
sources.
Yeah.
Right.
Leverage
So when we if you were to call and look for materials yourself, you might call one supplier, you might call maybe a couple if you have that access. Our team is going out and looking for the material, making sure that there's enough there at that particular supplier. And sometimes 4, 5, 6 different suppliers are checked all over the country to find the materials that you need.
Yeah, and there's a good point that several of our partners had brought up to leverage Supplies Flex and take advantage of it. We have filters on our job board. And so you can filter the job board to just show you a certain type of work, right? And so we are hearing a great way to leverage our Supplies Flex program and our job board tools is to order some chunks of metal, right? A 1x1 bar, 1.5 by 1.5 bar, 2x2 bar, three, so forth. Then you calibrate the job board to just look for aluminum 6061, CNC machine, smaller than 1 inch, or 1 inch to 6 inch. And now you know that all the jobs that you're going to see in that filtered search result is just what is going to match the supplies you already purchased. So it's a great way to go backwards. Instead of looking for the job and buying the supplies, you can go backwards too and load up on supplies, then calibrate your job board to just fit those supplies. I also wanted to respond to Dan in San Jose. You mentioned 6%, 4%. I did want to point out that we do have the 2% level as well. And again, giving you the control, if you just wait for 30 days, there are no fees. We guarantee that payment in 30 days. Essentially, if you want the payment in the first half of that 30 days, it's a 4%, but if you wait to the second half, it drops down to 2%. So there is a way to get a lower rate just by waiting a couple of weeks too, then still accelerating your payment.
Mike has a comment that maybe he could clarify, or maybe one of my colleagues can understand exactly what he's referring to. I'm not sure I follow. Mike, we can also connect with you directly offline if you want to talk about this further.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So to be able to kind of use, if you want to use a portion of your advance for job 1 and then a portion to be left behind for job 2, if I understand correct. But I see that you're able to sort which jobs are deducted from, and that's good. That's what we want you to be able to do.
Dave, why don't we follow up with Mike offline and
Let's
learn
do
a little
that,
bit more
Mike,
about what
yeah,
he's saying?
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. That makes
All
more
right, well,
sense.
let's talk with Mike
Definitely.
offline. I have some thoughts here.
Definitely.
All right, so
All
we
right,
can
so
finish
we
our
talked
slides.
about shop finances and what that looks like. Let me give it back to you, Dan, to move forward.
Yeah, so I mean, if there's one point we were trying to convey in today's presentation, right, is we've attempted to create an ecosystem that makes the obtaining supplies and getting and securing cash flow of a machine shop a lot easier, right? So when it all kind of works well together, it starts with you securing a job from the Zometry job board, which I believe everybody on this call has done, at least several times. Immediately get that access to full pay through instant pay, or partial advance through the advance card, which comes with no fees, right? So going back to Dan's comment, right, we're always giving you 50% of that payout with no fees through the advance card. So maybe, Dan, that is something that you can take advantage of if you're finding the 4% or 6% too high. Then you can use that cash or use that advance to buy supplies at competitive prices, competitive lead times, and even stock your shop up with larger volumes given the net 90 terms of supplies flex. And then when you finish the job, if you have not already taken advantage of instant pay, then you can get paid quickly with fast pay and use those funds to secure the materials for your next job, which we hope you'll come back to Xometry to take as well.
So I'll go ahead and break the ice on questions while people think of them in the chat. So I know we had a webinar on Supplies Flex specifically back in December, and a lot of the questions that got asked about that were about where do you see this program growing? What do you see it growing into? I know it's already maybe even changed a little bit since its inception, but what do you see the growth of Supplies Flex becoming, or anything like that? It's probably a question for Tony.
Yeah. Well, what is, as of today, as of actually March 1st, it is different than what it was. We started out kind of feeling around to find something that addressed the needs of the partners. And, at first it was kind of a consignment program, pay as you go. And we've really refined that down to something that's very manageable and is, rather than a promotion, really a true program of Xometry now. So call it Supplies Flex 2.0 if you would, but It is a 90-day program with 3 equal payments, and it gives you really the flexibility to put whatever material you can pay in that 90 days, and a lot of flexibility in there.
Thank you for joining us, Christy. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Yes.
Thanks, Christy.
Thanks.
I want to point out a couple things that are happening. Number one, Gene is able to answer some of Mike's questions.
Thank you, Gene.
This is a great lead into our slide here. We've got a community that is super robust and very awesome and supportive. We are here to support your growth and expansion. That is our business model. And we do that a number of ways. And what we presented here is a bunch of tools that came directly from partner feedback. And there was a moment here where we posed Tony a question about maybe using some open POs. This is generated from the conversation out of this webinar. This is how we operate at Xometry. We have a partnership with our partners. We take your feedback. We use that to develop these innovative tools. That's why you don't see this anywhere else. Number one. Number two, we have an amazing community. And that community is multifaceted. It's an archive and a library for all the kind of resources that you're going to need to refer to once in a while, not for every job. But it's also a great place for discussion. And we see discussions between our partners and each other. Hey, I've got this machine. I'm looking for a particular tool. I can't find it. Anybody got any tips? Hey, I've got this particular feature I'm trying to make, and I keep getting chatter. What can I do about that? It's really cool. And you can also ask questions about the Xometry network, and one of us will jump in too if there's a need for that. So there's a chat bot in there that'll try to direct you to an article or two. But if it can't, you can connect with a live person from 9 to 6 Eastern time. So we really want to surround you with support. And I saw some cool stuff going on that leads into that. So the community is community.xometry.com. You can find everything you need there. We've got help center articles. And then, of course, you can join our discussion about this event or anything else that we have going on. Carrick, do you want to talk a little bit more about community?
The community is basically, if you have any questions about how to navigate the world of Xometry, if you have any questions about the services that Xometry has, and you don't want to be held up by sending an email or making a call or anything like that, Xometry is the community is your one-stop shop on anything in the world of Xometry. So if you have questions, we post blog posts bi-weekly, I think. And if we notice like common pain points among partners, or if there's just a promotion that we want to get out, we'll host webinars for them. And so all of that takes place in the community. And then for any of our blog posts, for any of our discussion posts, there's comment sections for our partners to interact in, to do what Gene has been doing in this chat, honestly, which is answering questions from partner to partner instead of just from Xometry to partner, which is kind of the heart of what we want the community to be. We would like it to be an interactive network where partners can communicate with partners, and it's not just a one-way street of Xometry communicating with our partners. So it's kind of the heart of it. David, it looks like you answered Bridget's question. One quick thing, Bridget, to check about the workflow going in, or like the amount of work being pushed your way. Just a quick check. This might not be the answer to it, but just check your shop capacity settings. If that's not it, then probably a question to better handle offline and dig into, but that's just a quick thing to check just to make sure that that's not causing that sort of restriction as far as the amount of work you're seeing.
Yeah.
So the shop capacity settings, there is a place in our job board that says, I'm open for work. I am not open for work, right? So if you have that misclicked, then you may not be seeing as much work. But yeah, Dave, looks like you put yourself out there to just connect with Bridget, make sure her job filters are set up correctly. We can talk to sourcing if something is holding it up.
Yeah, we'll find out what's going on.
Hey,
sorry, that was.
I have something to kind of announce. My team has expanded, so we've added We've added a couple new people to assist in getting quotes and materials. But something that we thought would be very interesting is to add a technical person into our group. And so we have just hired for the supply sales team a 30-year veteran of machining. And he's there as a resource to help with different things, tooling packages, just to talk shop with you and you know, assist in any way. So adding some resources to really expand what we can do to be a benefit to our partners.
That's a good call out, Tony. Doug is a great guy and really has great expertise in this field. He owns the Lexington Makerspace, so he knows how to make things and how to think creatively about how to make things. But with that knowledge combined with what we can provide with tools and supplies, he can help you find a pathway to wherever you're going. Good call.
It's amazing. Yep.
Dave, looks like we have someone else saying
Yeah.
they're not seeing work on their job board. So let's follow up with Courtney as well, figure out what's going on there.
Yes,
We
will.
definitely have lots of work out there.
Yes,
Yep.
I have the names taken down, so we'll be
Thank you,
sure to
Eric.
connect soon after this call.
Cool. All right. Well, we do have a panel of experts here. If nobody has questions about these particular products, we are also open to field general questions about our network. If it's not specifically about your exact account, then we can address them here to the group. Otherwise, I'm happy to connect with folks offline, answer your questions, or connect you with the team who is the expert at answering your questions. So let me just open up the floor and ask if there's any questions about Zometry. Yeah, we are a tech company at heart, so we've got algorithms for our algorithms. So to Gene's point, you know, we're looking at a lot of different data and trying to push the right stuff to your job board. And Carrick's input is right on point. It's very likely just a setting either on your end or on ours, and we can make an adjustment and match things up. Right on.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you
us,
for joining
Christopher.
us, Christopher. Thank you. We appreciate your time. How are we going to send out this deck to everybody who?
Yeah, we'll send it out as part of the follow-up, and that way they'll see the supplies coupon code in there. And then again, the fast pay instant pay promotion, no action is required beyond just using the product between now and next Friday. We'll take care of it on the back end.
Excellent. Well, I'm not hearing or seeing any other questions. I'm happy to wrap it up and let everybody get back to their day. Please know that you have a whole bunch of resources here at Zometry. So if something comes up later, often it does. Oh, I should have asked, whatever. We're here. This is what we do. We are here to help grow your business. That is our business model. That's how we grow our business. And we are a partner. So we look for ways to enhance and improve our partnership. And we do that with feedback. So please feel free to give us a shout. I collect a lot of feedback for this company, and I'm in a lot of those conversations. So I'm always happy to engage about what kind of feedback you have. And I think with that, we will say thank you very much for your time and attention, and thank you for joining. We hope you enjoy some of these benefits for being here today, and hope to see you get a lot of use out of our tools.
Thank you much, all. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.